The series, Sevdiğim Sensin, has compelled us, the viewers, to follow its story with deep excitement and astonishment. As we watch, we become immersed in the love story between a simple village girl and a handsome young man from the city. What makes it even more intriguing is the fact that this urban young man is already engaged, and yet he ends up marrying the village girl. How will such a love unfold? What consequences will this unexpected union bring? Together, we continue to witness how this extraordinary story develops. Before moving forward, dear viewers, let me remind you, if you haven't watched the previous episodes yet, be sure to visit my channel and catch up on the earlier videos. And if you want to be among the first to learn what happens next, don't forget to keep following the channel. Now, let's begin. In the previous episode, a group of fugitives stormed Dijle's home in order to kidnap her. At that very moment, Erkan was just leaving her house. But as he walked away, he noticed the suspicious men. Realizing their intentions were cruel, he immediately fought them to prevent them from taking Dijle. Her courtyard turned into a battlefield. Gunshots echoed through the air. Bullets whistled in every direction. In the chaos, one of the thugs was wounded, and Erkan himself was seriously injured. Despite her fear, Dijle managed to drag Erkan into the hut. Outside, however, the bullets continued to rain down toward the house. At one point, Dijle rushed to her sick mother to see if she was alive. But what she saw shattered her world. Her mother lay in blood, lifeless. Several bullets fired from outside had struck her. In that moment, it felt as though the sky collapsed over Dijle. She screamed, falling beside her mother, sobbing uncontrollably in unbearable pain. Her cry was filled with despair and hopelessness. But the gunfire did not stop. Even in his weakened state, Erkan feared that Dijle might also be hit. Gathering the last of his strength, he pulled himself toward her and dragged her down into cover. Dijle could not accept her mother's death. She continued to cry, overwhelmed by grief. Breathing heavily, Erkan tried to make her understand that her mother was already gone, that nothing could change that now. What mattered was survival. She had to live. Gradually, his words helped her regain some composure. Then Erkan showed her his wounds and admitted that he was afraid, in this condition, he might not be able to protect her. He explained that the men would not leave without taking her. Therefore, he would stay and hold them off, and she had to escape. But Dijle refused. She had already lost her mother. She did not want to lose another life because of her. There was determination in her voice. She said she would surrender to them, and perhaps then Erkan would survive. Before he could stop her, Dijle walked outside. Erkan could not accept her sacrifice. He tried to follow her, but due to heavy blood loss, he collapsed and lost consciousness. When the men saw Dijle, they demanded to know where the soldier was. She told them he was already dead. At first, they did not believe her. But somehow, Dijle managed to convince them. They then took her to abandoned huts on the other side of the mountain. Meanwhile, Erkan, unconscious, saw his friend in a dream. His friend told him that his conscience must remain clean. That he must live. That he had a duty to fulfill, to save Dijle. Those words seemed to pull him back from the darkness. Erkan regained consciousness, reached for his radio, and informed the military about what had happened. Soldiers provided him with first aid. Despite his injuries, the first thing he asked about was Dijle. His captain reassured him a rescue unit had already been sent for her. Erkan was then transported to the military hospital. Meanwhile, in the mountains, one of the bandits said he would fetch medicine for the wounded man and left the hut. The man who remained behind began to behave dangerously, his thoughts darkened, and he tried to touch Dijle. But Dijle defended herself. She always carried a knife. She wounded him and managed to escape outside. At that exact moment, the soldiers arrived and rescued her. She too was taken to the hospital. In the hospital, Erkan regained consciousness and immediately asked about Dijle. His friend Kadir told him she was perfectly fine and had been brought there as well. Despite his weakness, Erkan got up and went to her room. But at the door, he was confronted by Dijle's two brothers. The older brother, Firmin, was harsh, hot-tempered, and wild, a man who valued family honor above everything else. Erkan immediately understood this. Firmin threatened him, demanding to know what business he had with his sister. After learning that Erkan was the soldier who had saved her, he still ordered him to leave and forget Dijle, slamming the door in his face. Erkan was stunned. At that moment, he heard Firmin shouting and threatening Dijle inside the room. Erkan wanted to intervene, but Kadir stopped him, warning that interfering would only create even bigger problems for her. The younger brother, Jivan, seemed softer and more compassionate. By the way, do you know who plays Jivan? The role is portrayed by Baris Baktas, the same actor who played Baron in the series Bloody Flowers, a show we all enjoyed watching. Jivan tried to defend Dijle, saying she had no connection with Erkan. But Firmin insisted that she had disgraced the family, that strangers had taken her, and that the rumor would soon spread through the entire village. If they did not act, their honor would be trampled because of her. Jivan reluctantly nodded. The doctor entered and informed them that Dijle could be discharged and taken home. As her brothers led her away, Erkan watched from the window. Seeing their harsh and rough behavior toward her made his heart ache. He remembered the fear in her eyes. Fearing for her safety, he followed them. The brothers decided that Dijle had brought shame upon them, and sentenced her to death. Before carrying out the execution, they gave her water so she could perform ablution. Calmly, Dijle washed her hands and face as if preparing for prayer. Firmin ordered her to recite the Shahada. She spoke the words of faith. Firmin raised his weapon. But Jivan stopped him, saying that her final wish must be granted. Dijle asked for only one thing, to see her mother's grave one last time. Firmin agreed. And at that very moment, there was a knock at the door. Erkan had arrived. Firmin was furious. Erkan demanded to see Dijle. Despite the threats, he stepped inside and saw her kneeling, and instantly realized they had been about to kill her. Erkan declared that he would take her away. But Firmin coldly replied, Dijle could only leave this house alive with her lawful husband. Erkan understood, there was no other way. To save her life, he spoke the words that would change everything. I will marry Dijle. And before ending here, let me remind you once again, if you want to find out what happens next, don't forget to follow the continuation of the series. See you in the next videos. Stay safe.